Hey, Billy. Hey, Billy.
Yep.
What's the difference between a golf ball and a G spot?
I don't know what.
A man will spend hours looking for a golf ball and not a G spot.
Close to the most, especially with our clothes on the post. I only give a dose to them hoes, and without you is the one thing I hate. Together's a fate, but if you ask, baby, I would jump in the lake. And I cheated, you stay faithful, and I'm ungrateful, and I act so damn hateful. And over, I know that it's over finito.
And good morning, everybody. This is Mike with Mornings with Mike. I am joined with a very special guest today. His name is Billy Hatton. Billy, how are you today?
Doing all right. First time on Mornings with Mike, so this is definitely a privilege and an honor. I appreciate you for having me on as always.
Hey, man. I enjoy speaking with you every day on like RTS Sports Talk and Unpopular Opinion. So it is only natural that I bring a good friend onto probably the best podcast on this side of the Mississippi, no pun intended. But Billy, speaking of which, the holidays have now passed us. They're a few weeks past us by now. Me and Chris Hill did a podcast that hopefully you guys listened to earlier. It's called about a gender-neutral Santa Claus. Basically, there's people that want Santa Claus to be gender neutral. And when we were in that wormhole of talking gender neutral Santa Clauses, Billy, we came across an article like about black Santa Claus. For of you that don't know, Billy is a black man from El Paso, and he has been in the South your whole life, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lived there for 19 years before I went to the military.
Okay, so he is quote unquote ingrained in the black culture. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything whatsoever, but historically, Santa Claus has been a white Santa Claus. We see him in the malls as a white Santa Claus. We see him in books and white Santa Claus. But if we're going to make Santa Claus gender neutral, why not make him a black Santa Claus too? Why does not quote unquote confuse the kids even more? Billy, what are your thoughts on a black Santa Claus?
I don't know, honestly. I guess growing up, I kind of stopped believing in Santa Claus at a young age. One day I seen my dad putting all the toys under the tree, and I seen him working on my trampoline one day, and from that moment, I kind of never really believed in Santa Claus anymore. And I kind of do that with my kids. I just ask them, hey, what do you want for Christmas? You know? So for me, I wouldn't mind it. But, to each his own.
So, we are kind of in a culture where, like I feel like, I want to say if you're over 5 or 6 years old, you probably don't believe in the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus or something to that effect. But those kids that are 2, 3, and 4, if you saw a black Santa Claus at the mall, and then you went to the other mall across town and you saw a white Santa Claus, like, wouldn't that be like, what the fuck is going on? Who is the real one? Do you think that would like cause people to like scratch their heads and not believe even more?
No, I think nowadays with the advancement of social media, I think they see so many stuff. I mean, I walked around El Paso here now, and I've seen a few black Santa Claus. It's starting to become a little bit more popular now in these days, 2018 or so. But no, I think with the advancement of social media, I think kids are just exposed to so much stuff. My kids come and they be saying all this different kind of stuff, and I ask them, where you get that from? And they say YouTube. So I think now...
Exactly. YouTube's a devil. YouTube's a devil.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think with YouTube and Instagram and, just social media, period, I think kids are now more, I guess, socially prone to see that kind of stuff.
Speaking of YouTube, if you are listening to us on YouTube, be sure to hit that subscribe button, even though it is the devil. But nonetheless, I think it's like at some point, this whole politically correct crap has to stop. I don't want a gender neutral Santa Claus. Santa Claus is a male. He has a penis. He has a big flapping slong bouncing off his knees. Like, you know, like, I mean, like, I don't want a gender neutral Santa Claus. I mean, like if he's black, it doesn't matter to like me either. But we kind of have to keep it same across the board, just so those kids that do believe in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and that kind of thing aren't confused, because let's be honest, like, we are kind of raising a generation of confused kids. I mean, like, you see a man walking down the street and you don't, and like, if you were to walk up to him and say, "Sir," like, that kid could be put in jail because he is discriminating against a man that wants to be identified as a female. So, I mean, like I said, floor is yours. Yeah,
I just think, and we do live in a PC community. You know, I've mentioned this the other day. I don't want to derail your show.
You cannot derail Mornings with Mike. I just said I want Santa Claus to have a slong bouncing off his knees. So come on now.
Well, that's true. I also agree with you on that point. From the beginning of the time, we've been knowing that Santa Claus is a man. You know, so I think keeping it gender specific, I think that's key. You know, race and all that other stuff, I don't really care whether he's black or white. But I kind of, to your point on the community that we live in nowadays, I've seen something on the internet the other day about some states are going now to, instead of saying freshmen, they're going to say first years now.
What?
So they don't want, so it can be more gender quality, because girls are also freshmen and they don't want it to be that way. I don't really understand it yet.
Good God.
Yes. So I just think with we're going to start seeing a lot of stuff change now, because of the people that could be offended or not offended. So I don't really get it, honestly.
So,
but that's the world we live in.
So, like, speaking of the world that we we're going to go down this hole, Billy. You kind of made the crease, and I'm going to blow it open because this is mornings with like Mike, and we are just here to make you guys to say, well, hey, I agree with you, or fuck you, Michael, I hate you. But nonetheless, you are listening, and I appreciate that. So there is a professor up at Purdue University in this great state of Indiana that, speaking of the man term, she said that they want to eliminate the word man out of the dictionary, like, just like actually, so there'll be no more like man or like mankind, like it'll be like person or them or like or they. And then the CNN host that had her on said, like, well, aren't you referred to her as a man, but the woman, and like she is like, no, I am a them. So this whole them and they society thing, guys, shut the fuck up. You're either a man or a woman at the end of the day, and just because it like we use the word man, it is not a derogatory term toward anybody or anything. So like I just don't understand what the big deal is. Like, at the end of the day, maybe because I was raised in a quote unquote shelter world, like I don't see what the big deal is. But Billy, do you really see a big deal about the word man? Like woman, man, mankind?
No, I don't.
Like,
I don't. I just think now, and well, Mike, you say that we can't derail the show. Guess what, Mike? You went there. I'm gonna blow it open for you.
Dude, blow it open, man.
I think women nowadays, man, they want equality. They preach equality. They talk equality. Until it actually start timing to do or to act like a man, to be equal. And I think that's where they're coming from now with this, oh, well, not a man or it's them. No, you either a man or you a woman. You either want to be treated like a woman or you want to be treated like a man. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Exactly.
You can't say, oh, well, we want gender equality where we get paid the same, which I do agree that if you're doing the same job, you should be getting paid equal. No no problem there.
Yeah.
But we've seen on many cases where, let's say, domestic violence, as we deal with a lot of sports, where you will see women egging it on, hitting them, slapping them, doing whatever we want, or in movies, and the police would just sit there and let it happen.
Right.
But what happens if the roles were reversed? What if the man would just trip out and just start crying and just start slapping her? what would be said then?
He's a bitch.
So yeah, exactly. So I think this gender equality thing, it needs to stop. Everybody just need to know their roles. Certain aspects I do agree with, but for the most part, just everybody need to know their role.
Yeah, and speaking of that, me and Billy do talk a lot of sports, and Hunt comes to mind right now. I was raised to never hit a woman, which most men I do believe are, but I was also raised to if a woman treats you like a man and approaches you like a man and hits you like a man, she is now a man. Treat her like a man.
That's the way I was raised.
Yeah.
That's the way I was raised,
So, very, very few people know about this, know this about me, but I'm going to go ahead and let it out because I really don't care. I had an ex that she squared up and punched me square in the jaw three or four times. I sat there and I looked at her politely and I said, "Do that again, I'm taking you out." What you do? She punched me square in the nose, and that pissed me off. I picked her up by her arms. I said, "Stop this shit now," and threw her out of my house. I never hit her. Yes, I grabbed her by her arms and I put her outside. Not gently. I threw her out of my house. She landed on her butt, and she called the cops, and she said, "Oh, he beat me. Bitch, I had a fucking black eye and a bloody nose, and you're gonna say that I beat you? Come on now." But
you see those women all the time, man, and that's what I was talking about. And I thought about that because I was watching a movie,
was it
with
Birdcage?
my girlfriend the other day. Well, yeah, I watched Bird Box, and listen, by far the worst movie that I've seen this year. Yes, by far. The only people that like that movie that I've seen so far is females. I don't get it. But I was watching. I forgot the name of the movie. It was the movie was about this guy. He went inside a little diner to get some pie, but he left his daughter in the back seat. I think she was 5 or 6 or something like that. Somebody took her, and when the mom found out, they got to the police station. She just flipped out and she just started like slapping them. But then the police just sitting right there, and that's why I got that idea from.
Yeah,
you see that all the time.
Yeah, but if a man were to even raise his hand to that woman, he would have been arrested and thrown in jail in a heartbeat. Which that's just fucking ridiculous. At the end of the day,
that's the way it works,
man. But that's stupid. So since we're down this kind of this hole of gender equality thing and stuff like that, over time we've seen that the history kind of repeats itself. So like our world goes in cycles. So do you ever see this gender the gender equality thing, the them and they, kind of be in the past, and we start trending back to the old school ways that our grandparents were raised, when the wife stays home and cooks, or and the man, he goes out and works hard all day? Do you ever see that?
No, that's not gonna happen nowadays.
That's
I
dead
think
and
also
gone.
Yeah, I think also, Mike, too, it's kind of almost, it's not impossible. I've done it. I know plenty of people that's done it. My dad has done it. Where it's hard nowadays to have only one income.
Oh, 100%.
In the household, because of, how much stuff costs nowadays. It can be done, obviously. Like I said, people do it all the time. People are still doing it now. But I think those days are starting to move away. We are getting farther away from all of that stuff to now getting to the new age stuff, where we're talking about, we're not going to call freshmen or ninth graders or first year college students freshmen anymore. We're going to say first years, to eliminate the gender role in that, because it says, man, we're going to start trending more towards that, where now they push us having to deal with, the LGBT community, not as if they are a hassle, but it seems like if that's not the way you like things, oh, you are homophobic, or oh, you're this, you don't like these kind of people, you're discriminating. That's what we're getting at, where people can't have an opinion anymore. You have an opinion, people ridicule you for it. People kill you for it. LeBron James, it just happened the other day, where he's singing some rap lyrics, and people get all mad about it.
Yeah.
I don't. It's that type of community. Instead of, that's what we're trending to, where you have to literally watch everything you say, and you can't have an opinion about certain things.
Yeah, and I have to agree with you at 100% on that, because I have a black friend on my Facebook page. I'm not going to say his name because he will literally get butthurt and cry about it. But he is consistently posting like about the black people getting beat by white cops, and yes, I know it happens. Yes, it happens every day. I get it, but at the end of the day, you just sharing a video that is fake news is not going to help that situation one bit or the other. And like, I've called him out on it several times, saying, hey man, do you realize this is only half of the tape that you're saying? Do you not see that this guy shot at that cop eight times before he shot him back? Like that, and he will literally be up in arms crying, calling me a racist, a bigot, and everything else. And it is because I am a white man that has an opinion on a black thing. So yes, I definitely get what you're going on there, and I think it's crazy at the end of the day that I cannot call a sir because I'm afraid that sir may only have a vagina in her pants. It's just it's just fucking crazy to me, But
that's where we live, and it's going to get worse, Mike, with more and more social media. More and more sites happening. More and more women is starting now to get into power, where back then, obviously it was nothing but men.
Right.
Now women can now, they're in the Senate, they're in the House. These things will start to happen way more often. It's I don't know. By the time my kids grow up, who knows what we're going to be able to say.
Are you saying that women are the problem in the world, Billy?
No, I'm not saying that they are the problem in the world, but what I am saying is they are emotional creatures.
Yes.
And unlike men, when we get mad, we may think with emotions, but we're thinking.
Yeah.
The man is
very few times we act on it.
Yes, exactly. Men are typically the thinkers, where women just go off of, oh, I feel this. And I think that's now why we're starting to go soft on a certain thing. Is it crazy that I can't call a female a freshman?
Yeah. I mean, well, actually, you probably can't call a female a female anymore because it has the word male in it, and male is referred to a guy, a man. So you have to refer to him as like them.
So let me ask you this, Mike. Do you think guys are making this call?
No, because I don't think a man cares about the word man being used in a derogatory term, or because it is kind of like you as a black man, just like when you say the N word, you don't think of it as a bad thing or a derogatory term, but if it was said by a white man, it is a derogatory term. So yes, the word man being evil is definitely 100% coming from a female that has,
I definitely agree,
that has a political agenda of something, somewhat, somewhere, and probably along the way it's Trump's fault.
Mike, you open it up, Mike.
Hey, that's why we're here, man. Voice your
Open
opinion.
it up. A lot of stuff is his fault. Now, I'm not like a lot of people, and a lot of the stuff that he tries to do, a lot of the policies that he tries to put in place are actually good policies. But let me tell you why a lot of people don't really care to hear when you have something good.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example, right? Say me and you are arguing right now.
Right.
And, I say something crazy, whatever. And then you're already mad now. What is an apology going to do to you? Are you going to want to hear anything else I have to say after that?
100% no.
After I offended you, you're not going to want to hear anything. So, in the case of the president, 45, this guy has repeatedly called black countries where, some of my people are from, shitholes. He has repeatedly talked about Mexicans in a derogatory manner.
Right.
He has constantly talked about, or when he gave his speech about how they used to do it in the 60s, he wished that they can go back to that. I'm just saying, he's not the perfect person, but a lot of the stuff he does say does make a lot of sense, but nobody cares to listen because they just see you as an idiot racist.
So let me kind of compile on that. I do agree in much of what you say. I'm really not a political person by any means, but I think it is the way
neither am I.
Just like hearing the way he presents himself, like he does not present himself as like a kind, soft-spoken type of person, such as Obama. So, I'm bringing up Obama simply because Obama said let's build the wall too, but he presented it in a soft-spoken. Hey, we need to do this for this, and this. Can you guys come along and join me? And then Trump like he is like that. He is like that dirty old man that he can say the sweetest thing in the world, but just the way he comes across is like you said that, what, So he just needs to work on his speaking skills to present it in a better way. I think that's the biggest issue that Trump has at the end of the day.
Well, and that he's a hypocrite. I mean, let's not forget, he's caught on tape saying he's gonna grab women that he just grabs women by their pussies and he just kisses them. I mean, Mike, that's not anything. I mean, I know we're not all saints here, but there's a lot of other stuff.
But just to refer to that comment about the 60s, we were just complaining about the world now. So if we were to rewind to the 60s, would you want to go back to the 60s, or would you want to be in the way that we are now?
60s as in context. In context, he was talking about the way the police handle minorities.
Oh, okay.
Where he say we used to just take them out back.
Yeah.
I wish we can go back to that.
I took that out of context then.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. Yes, I would probably love to go back to the way, old school mentality like that. But as far as what he was talking about, we all knew what he was talking about because he said it. So he says a lot of off the wall stuff, and and he's unapologetic about it, which is cool as long as you're out front with it. People know how to deal with you when you're out front with it. Right. It's the undercover ones that people hate.
Yeah, and I have to agree with that because I am the same way. I would say off the wall things, and if I'm right, awesome, and if I'm not right, cool. I kind of take my take my skills from a guy named Alex Jones. If you guys don't know who Alex Jones is, you're missing out. Infowars.com, a good little plug there. That guy's fucking crazy. Like, do you know who Alex Jones is?
No, I never heard of him.
So he is actually in Houston, I think. He's based out of Houston. And this is the guy that he will say the most outrageous things. Like he said the world was going to end in 2018. The world's going to end in 2020. Like he believes in aliens. He says the military has a base on the moon. It's just random shit. But the 20% of the time that he is right, people are like, oh wow, this guy's right. Like, what else is he right about? It's just like he is probably how do I want to say this? He is just batshit crazy, and sometimes that batshit smells like gravy and it tastes good, and but at the end of the day, it's still shit. So, but regardless, Black Santa Claus, we're okay with it. Do you think the reason why we don't have Black Santa Claus is because of white America in the suburbs?
Mike, I could take you on a whole, on this topic. Yes, I think that's the reason why. I think that's the reason why we don't celebrate a lot of the real traditions that, the so-called that the Bible say that we should. It's because everything has been changed in order for
white America.
I'll put it this way. Yes. And people may not agree with that. And they'll point to, well, look how many black athletes we have and all that other stuff. But those are anomalies. Look at the conditions that these athletes say that they have to come out of. Everybody's not going to be able to come out of that. So yeah, I think that's the reason why I don't want to go too deep into that, because I can do a whole little movie about that.
Well, if you wanted to, Billy, you can come on a show some other time, and we can definitely talk about that. For sure. If you want. With all that being said, guys, we're going to wrap the show up here. Thank you guys for joining us. If you're on iHeart Radio, Spotify, iTunes, etc., be sure to go ahead and follow the podcast here. If you're on YouTube, click on the description link, click on the iTunes link. YouTube's dicking me around. They don't want to monetize because they say I curse too much, and I say fuck her right in the pussy. That's what I say to YouTube.
Yeah, and that stuff right there gets you definitely demonetized.
on the bright side, the podcast is doing well, guys. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. But Billy also does a podcast called Unpopular Opinion. Billy, tell them a little bit about your podcast.
I do a sports podcast now, going 5 days a week, Monday through Friday now. I talk some of the hottest sports topics people don't like to get on. It's called Unpopular Opinion for a reason. You may not like my opinion, but you're always going to leave saying, did he really just say that? Yes, I did just say that. I'm also on the platforms, iTunes, Google Play, and all that other stuff where you find your podcast at. Give me a listen. Give me a rating on iTunes. That'd be greatly appreciated.
All right, Billy. Thanks, man, for joining me. Guys, we're out. See you next time.
Laurie Strode. I got a gory soul.